let's talk about Married to Medicine. Only the things that stuck out to me real quick, okay? Quad. I did not like Quad rushing over to Anila's house, continuing to push whatever narrative, okay? She decided to snitch on the ladies. They talked about Contessa. Anila didn't like how Contessa was on the phone with her, questioning things. Quad tried to make it seem like, Contessa, you ain't clueless. You know what's going on. But I'm like, but she has questions about this particular event that took place at this woman's house. Why can't she not question that? When you would do the same thing, Miss Quad. Like, I don't know. They try to make a big deal about Contessa prying and asking more questions because a lot of things didn't make sense. Okay. What else? Quad told her about how Simone was up there laughing. I don't think Simone was laughing at her home getting robbed. I think she was laughing at the antics of the ladies. Okay. And then of course talking about the Toya situation, okay, because she do feel like Toya got a hand in what happened, all because Toya told Carrie that there's a hit out on this woman. I don't even know why Toya would say no mess like that, because now you done added yourself into some drama, and now people speculate whether or not you had anything to do with what took place at her house. I'm still having a hard time believing that, but when the ladies told me about, when I think it was Niecy that mentioned it about the friend what's that name? Carmitha, whatever the friend was that was about to get at Anila. I ain't gonna lie, my thoughts was like, "Ooh, I forgot about that woman." My thoughts kind of changed now. It is possible that Toya ain't had nothing to do with it, but Miss Ma'am may have had something to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? I don't know. Or neither one of them had anything to do with it, and somebody just probably scoped out the that house that night because they was planning on robbing the area anyway. And they like, oh, bet they having a party here, so that's a good distraction. Da, 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 da. And then just ran up in there and just did whatever they did because people was already distracted. So I mean, ain't no telling, girl. We don't know, but I don't think Toya had anything to do with it. For me, I just would like to see more proof than he say, she say, if that's what we doing. What else is going on? And let the people tell it. Quad and lied on Mariah, so they don't believe what Quad talking about either, child. So I just don't know. Anyway, so what else? Okay, yeah, I was like, why are you blaming Toya though? If it's fault, because she tried to say something like it's not too far-fetched for Toya to possibly get this woman's home robbed. And I said, well, if it's not far-fetched for Toya to do this, then it's also not far-fetched for Anila and them to do it themselves. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's what Anila and them did. I'm just saying anything is possible. Okay, watching these ladies over there on Beverly Hills, girl, you can't tell me nothing. Anything's possible, child. So I don't know. Now, what we can confirm as a fact is that people were going around, and I'm sure Anila lives in these areas where a lot of these celebrities' homes were hit. So it's highly possible and ironic that Toya's party happened on the same night as these people was gonna do what they do anyway, because that's just how they is and how they had been in these neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad. It's sad all around. But to kind of like throw that out there on Toya, then turn around and bring up the alleged affair and quite like, yeah, but anyway, girl, you know, the people saying that Toya out here cheating. And it's like, Quiet, why you don't like Toya so bad? That's what I'm trying to understand. Quiet, come to the front, okay? I just need to understand, because I could have possibly forgotten as I've watched the shows over the years. What is your big issue with Toya when Toya don't do half as much as what your best friend, Dr. Heavenly, does? Dr. Heavenly has dragged you from the front of the U all the way down to the E on YouTube. Understand what I'm saying? Okay? She done spun around on a few channels. All right, Miss Girl has dragged you, but then yet you always find reasons to forgive and forgive and forgive and forgive. You know what I'm saying? Your friends. So I'm just trying to understand, what is it about Toya that you have this big issue about, but you always typically excuse Dr. Heavenly's behavior. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if y'all ever had friends like that that throw slick shade. Like, I feel like friends, they be throwing slick shade. They don't like you for real. They like access to you, but I feel like they don't really like you for real, for real. Like, but that's just me, you know. Maybe she got a different perspective or whatever. I know Heavenly, now Quad Heavenly and Funky Dineva was on live, and Quad said that Heavenly almost got her ass whooped or something like that. And Heavenly, you know, responded to that, and you know, they had their little cute little bickering back and forth. But Heavenly also said at the end of the day, Quad is my sister. We gonna always care about each other. And I'm like, girl, I don't know. I don't know about it. I don't know about that Heavenly now. Cause y'all, she was sisters with Mariah too. Okay, at one point. and Mariah crossed that whatever line or whatever happened, and they not cool no more. So, girl, you gonna say that one thing about Quad, and she gonna be the hell out. But I'm just trying to understand why, Grace is always giving on this side, but it ain't never giving on that side. I'm confused. Anyway, let's keep going. So Simone and Jackie, they spoke on the party like real briefly. Okay, real briefly. So what they plan on doing is doing a group trip, trying to bring everybody back together. Cause y'all know this Dr. Jackie thing, girl. She always trying to restore some. It's always some relax, restoration is something else. Okay, relax, relate, relax. So relax, relate, relax. Come on with it, Gilbert. So she's trying to do some type of retreat. So that's what they're going to do. Good thing for Anila, although her home ended up being broken into, she was able to bring Miss Gomez back. Now, I do wonder if they alerted Miss Gomez, which I would believe they did, about the break in. But I also wonder how Miss Gomez feels being there and her safety, being there with them kids now. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I hope she felt safe because I ain't really dive into that. I didn't hear that part. But anyway, so she's back. So I know they happy, okay? And I'm like, Miss Gomez, why you made people feel like you was really gone for real, for real? Girl, if you was just going on vacation for a month, just say that, okay? But anyway, she back. Contessa does a fitness competition, y'all. Contessa looked amazing to me, and she won it. From my understanding, she won the whole competition. So shout out to her for that. Body was banging, and I'm just trying to figure out, girl, how did you discipline yourself to eat only air, okay, and pieces of rice cakes? That's what I'm trying to understand. Talking about she eats some bland fish and some type of green veggies or something. Girl, I'm just, girl, how, and then you got up at 5 in the morning. Let me tell you something. I do believe getting up early in the morning can change your life and be a good thing because you really up before everybody else is. So it's a bit of calmness in that. So I'm sure she got a lot of things done before it was time to go to work. And then working out, I do think gives you a different type of energy early in the morning. So it could possibly set the mood. Or listen, set your day up. Or let me go over here and slide into Contessa Gym, get my life together so I could be out here flexing and posing. You feel what I'm saying? I was like, okay, go ahead, Miss Contessa, girl. Okay, I'm trying to bend over and show them what you're working with. I said, I see you, girl. Go ahead. Okay. Scott didn't know what to do with himself, honey. He was like, I can't wait to get that home. Contessa look good. All right. So the couples did take the trip. Jackie and Simone talked with Toya. Toya is at a place because they pretty much said, oh, listen, we're trying to bring everybody back together. Toya said it's all good because I talked to my pastor wife and I'm focused on, getting on one accord so I can understand what the issues are with the ladies and, do better with that. Okay. So that's Toya's just in a different headspace for the moment because I do feel like they're going to turn it up. Okay. Now, Heavenly does arrive and y'all know she snapped out on Toya the other day, but I feel like rightfully so. I suppose her mama actually passed. Like it was one thing when her mom was in the hospital, she was sick. No, her mother is gone at this point now. When she tried to be present for them, so she kind of cussed Toya out. She came back trying to apologize to Toya. And when she apologized to Toya, Toya was accepting of it, but not necessarily because Heavenly said that she had been crying. And Toya was like, girl, your mom passed away. Like, it's okay to cry. I know you're going through a lot, whatever. And Heavenly does not like to be in touch in her emotional side either, girl. She don't like it. I guess she feels like that's just a sign of her being weak, so she don't like to cry, right? But they had a small moment. Audra. Audra learns that she's pregnant on the trip. Congratulations to her. First of all, I didn't even know Audra. I didn't know that she had a son. But the little boy looks just like her husband. So I'm thinking that's their child. I had to rewind and I'm like, what now? So she already had this little boy before they even got together. And now she's pregnant with her second child, which will be her husband's first child. And I was like, that's good. So good for them. They've already gotten married, from my understanding, had their wedding and stuff, and now they are pregnant. So that's exciting. Okay. Later on, we see where Anila and Toya was about to tell Anila how sorry she was that happened to her and her family and her kids, right? But then Toya said a but. Soon as she said that, but Anila came out and said, does anybody feel like this is a setup? And Toya responds and said, well, girl, I don't know you like that. I don't know what you would do. So I'm like, was she actually responding to that question, or was Toya responding to something else? Because it seemed like Toya's response didn't really fit in that moment. Seemed like editing may have chopped something. But I'm wondering, what do you mean setup? Do you mean setup by way of Toya, or do you mean setup by way of yourself? Which is why Toya probably said, I don't know what you would do. I don't know you like that. So, girl, I don't know, honey. there's that. We're gonna see what's gonna take place on next week's episode. But that's really all I got on Married to Medicine, girl. I don't know what Audra had. Oh, I didn't know that Audra had a son either. They will make a cute little family. They will. He's 7. Oh, my issue with Heavenly's apology is that they never mean anything. She will go right back to doing the same thing. I mean, that's a fact. That's a proven fact. It's always an apology for in that particular moment. And once we get a new 20 set of 24 hours, is back to where we were. Um, it looked like Toya was at the principal's office when Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone were lecturing her about her expected behavior. um, let's see. Toya was constantly talking about Quad's apartment, etc. We know how Toya likes to talk about everyone else's homes, clothes. Toya was constantly talking about Quad's apartment. Oh, she did say that. She did call that lady's apartment small or something like that. Oh, hold up, that wasn't even no apartment. She was talking about the lady's townhome, and she said that it was an apartment. I do remember that. Thank y'all for reminding me. So that's part of where the issue that Miss Quad has for Toya. But I thought she got her back at the whole housewarming where she was able to rub it in her face and let her know, like, yeah, this is my house. This is what I got going on. I'm doing well for myself. So joke's on you. Right. So then it makes me think it must be something else outside of that. Because for me, this is how I'm looking at it. If you could talk about my house being an apartment, like I'm not gonna trip off of that versus you sitting up here trying to allude to the fact that I'm fucking on married men and you're supposed to be my friend. Like that's gonna piss me off more. I expect the BIT that's not my friend to really say something slick, and you really wasn't that slick because you ain't really hurt me for real, because you got your own financial issues, but you say this about me, like what? So yeah. Let's see what else before we move on to something else. Why didn't any of the women support Contessa in her competition? Were they invited? I'm wondering if the competition could have been far out. I don't know. That's a good question. Or maybe it was last minute or something. I don't know why ain't nobody going to support, because I thought some of them probably knew what she was doing. You know, probably knew she was. I mean, if they would have got a heads up, they probably would have drove the distance just to go out and support her. So that's a good question. I don't know why ain't nobody show up for her. But yeah, let's see. Quad is mad because Toya sided with Mariah when she said Quad slept with the late. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay. Then she didn't think Quad should be on the show after she divorced. Gotcha. So Quad is on her period. She's on her she on her head period. Don't matter. Got you. Toya was saying what they all were saying about her not being on the cast during after her divorce. They didn't think it was fair for her to be on and Greg not being on it. Got you. Got you. Let's see. Hey Jamie, why people coming for a Toka? Who the hell is that? She talks about surface level things about the ladies like fun shade. They always try and come for her marriage. Sad. You talking about Toya or who is a Toka girl? I didn't know who that was. Okay. Well, let me scoot on, honey. Oh, you talking about Anila? Why people always coming for Anila? She talks about surface level things and they come for her. Nah, that couldn't be about Anila. Anila, don't nobody come for her marriage, do it. I don't know.